The wind howled like a banshee across the desolate moors, whipping against the weathered stone cottage where Master Matthias, a sorcerer of unparalleled power, resided. Inside, a young apprentice named Finn, all gangly limbs and nervous energy, paced restlessly. Master Matthias, cloaked in a shimmering robe the color of twilight, was on a secret mission Finn was forbidden to know about. Boredom gnawed at Finn, a relentless tide threatening to drown him in its monotony. He stole a glance towards the forbidden chamber, a room at the end of the dimly lit corridor, its heavy oak door bound with iron and secured with a large, ornately carved key that hung from Master Matthias' neck. Whispers like tendrils of smoke had reached Finn's ears about the wonders within a mirror reflecting all corners of the world, a seashell whispering secrets carried on the wind, and a book, bound in black iron and etched with arcane symbols, that held the key to the very fabric of reality. Curiosity, a serpent ever coiled in his gut, tightened its hold. Today, with the master gone, the opportunity was too tempting to resist. Stealing across the room, his heart hammering a frantic rhythm against his ribs, Finn reached for the key. It was cold against his skin, a sliver of forbidden knowledge. His fingers trembled as he unlocked the door, the rusted hinges groaning in protest. Inside, the air crackled with a strange energy. An otherworldly glow emanated from a crystal ball perched on a stand. The mirror, opposite the door, shimmered with a milky haze, and the seashell, nestled on a velvet cushion, lay silent. But Finn's gaze was drawn to the book. It lay open on a lectern, its pages filled with cryptic symbols and spidery script that danced before his eyes. He traced a finger along a line, the words blurring before him. But a sound, a low tremor that seemed to shake the very foundations of the cottage, made him jump. The air grew thick and heavy, the shadows lengthening and twisting into grotesque shapes. Panic clawed at his throat as the room plunged into darkness. A booming voice, like thunder rolling across a barren plain, echoed in the chamber. "You have awakened one who should not be disturbed." Mortal, a hulking figure materialized from the inky blackness, its eyes burning embers, its breath reeking of sulfur. Beelzebub, a demon of immense power, stood before him, its form a grotesque caricature of a man, its claws dripping with an ichor that glowed faintly. Finn, his blood turning to ice, could only stammer, his voice a pathetic squeak lost in the vastness of the room. The demon's fiery gaze pinned him, its voice a rasping growl. "A task, mortal. Give me a task, or you shall face unimaginable torment." The weight of the demon's presence threatened to crush Finn. His mind raced, searching for a way out. He remembered a story Master Matthias had once told him, a tale of a foolish apprentice who had summoned a water spirit and been unable to control it. In a desperate gamble, he pointed a shaking finger towards a potted geranium on a nearby windowsill. "Water. Water the flower," he choked out. The demon vanished in a puff of brimstone, leaving behind a ringing silence. Relief flooded Finn, a sweet, intoxicating wave that washed away his terror, but the silence was short-lived. A deafening roar echoed from outside the chamber. Finn rushed to the window and gasped. A torrent of water cascaded down the side of the cottage, gushing from a seemingly bottomless well that had materialized beside the geranium. The once delicate flower was now submerged in a churning whirlpool, the water level rising at an alarming rate. Terror returned, icy tendrils gripping his heart. He had underestimated the demon's power. The simple task of watering the flower had been twisted into a monstrous joke. Panic set in as the water began to seep under the door, its relentless rise mirroring his own rising fear. Minutes bled into hours, or perhaps it was seconds, time losing all meaning in the face of impending disaster. The water had reached his knees, chilling him to the bone. He scrambled onto a nearby stool, the churning water lapping at his waist. Just as the water threatened to engulf him completely, a voice, strong and resolute, cut through the din. Master Matthias stood in the doorway, his face grim. With a flick of his wrist and a muttered incantation, the room pulsed with an otherworldly light. The water receded, retreating back into the well as quickly as it had risen. Beelzebub, defeated, vanished in a final plume of sulphurous smoke. Master Matthias, his face etched with fury, turned towards Finn. The apprentice, shivering and soaked to the bone, could only hang his head in shame. The weight of Master Matthias' silence pressed down on Finn heavier than the floodwaters ever could. Shame burned in his gut, acrid and bitter. The Master's cloak, usually shimmering with arcane energy, hung limply around his shoulders, the toll of his intervention etched on his face. "You have unleashed a chaos you could never comprehend," Boy Master Matthias finally spoke, his voice low and dangerous. "Your actions could have drowned not just yourself, but this entire village, perhaps even the whole county." Finn flinched at the accusation, tears stinging his eyes. He wanted to defend himself, to explain his insatiable curiosity, but the words wouldn't come. Shame had rendered him mute. Master Matthias sighed, a weary sound that seemed to echo the wind howling outside. "There is much to learn," Finn, he said, his voice softening slightly. "Curiosity can be a powerful tool, but it must be tempered with knowledge and respect. The secrets within that room are not meant for the faint of heart, nor the untrained hand." He gestured towards the ravaged chamber. The once pristine floor was marred with gouges left by the receding water. The seashell lay overturned, its secrets silent for now. The mirror, once clear, displayed only swirling mist. "We must mend what you have broken," the Master continued. He led Finn towards the lectern, the black book lying open like a gaping maw. Master Matthias pointed to the passage Finn had unwittingly triggered. "This is the language of demons, Finn," he explained, his voice grave. "A single misplaced word, a single intonation off, and you risk unleashing forces you cannot control." For days, Finn toiled under Master Matthias' tutelage. He learned the intricate symbols that danced across the book's pages, the subtle intonations that held the power to command or banish. The weight of responsibility settled on his shoulders, a constant reminder of his recklessness. One evening, as the storm outside raged, mirroring the turmoil within Finn, Master Matthias placed a hand on his shoulder. "There is a hidden wellspring within you," Finn, he said, his voice filled with a newfound respect. "A wellspring of curiosity, yes, but also of courage. You faced a terrifying entity and survived. Now, let us channel that courage into learning, into becoming someone who can wield this power for good." A flicker of hope ignited in Finn's chest. The road ahead would be long and arduous, filled with countless lessons and untold dangers. But for the first time, he saw not just the burden of his actions, but the potential they held. He could become more than just a foolish apprentice. He could become a guardian, a protector, someone who wielded the secrets of the Forbidden Chamber, not for destruction, but for the greater good.